Welcome to the Law Firm Marketing Minute, your source of internet marketing inspiration.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Law Firm Marketing Minute. I'm your host, John Henson, and this week, continuing our little series that we started just about some marketing basics. And this week, I want to talk to you about leads. Leads, obviously, probably, what you want your marketing to generate for you. We talked last week about the specific bucket of specific lead generation where marketing, that's just all marketing does for you. But the reason that I wanted to talk about it this week is because I was looking through the survey data from the trends report that we're going to be releasing here soon. And there was a whole section of the survey data that I ended up having to throw out, which ended up being fine because it's a gigantic report anyway. But there was a whole section of the report where, if you took that survey, it was, the questions like, how many leads did your firm generate last year? Of those leads, how many were converted into clients and all that kind of stuff. And so my original vision for that was to be, this section where you could see how the flow of leads, what the conversion rates were and all that kind of stuff for law firms, but it didn't end up working out, which again, it was fine. But it got me thinking. The reason that I had to throw it out was because of the question about leads. I had, people putting single digit numbers of leads, which if you're generating less than 10 leads in a year, you're not going to stay in business very long. And to me, there were two reasons why there were so many weird numbers for that. First was that it could just be people trolling the survey and not, just putting in a number just to put in a number. And so I threw those out, and I'm choosing not to believe that that was the case. The second one was just that there's a good chance that people have very different definitions of what they think a lead is. And what I mean by that is, maybe they think a lead is someone who books a consultation, which still, if you're booking less than 10 consultations a year, unless you are a very, very, very specific lawyer, part-time lawyer, and your case value is, six-figure cases or very high five-figure cases to where you don't need to take more than 10 a year, then that makes a little bit more sense. But, the idea though, is that a lead is more than just someone who books a consultation, right? That in industry terms, that person would be considered a hot lead. They're strongly considering making a buying decision. They're narrowing down their choices, and they're making, they're in that final process of making a decision. In reality, a lead is literally just anyone whose contact information you get, right? Could be someone it could be a business card that you get at a networking event, could be someone who fills out a contact form on your website, could be a list that you purchase, whatever it is. But all of the names that are in your CRM, email addresses, phone numbers, those are all leads, right? Now, there are then from that point different kinds of leads. For example, like if you meet another attorney at a networking event, and obviously they're not going to ever need to hire you, but they become a referral source. Okay, well then that lead just gets converted into something. But it doesn't mean that they still aren't a lead. You just have to qualify that lead. And I don't want to get into like super deep marketing processes or anything like that. For the bigger picture though, anyone's contact information you get is a lead. And until you get a definitive answer one way or another, yes or no, that they need to hire you, you need to treat them as if they were going to hire you. And even if they don't hire you, they could still become a referral source, like that attorney example. More than likely, you got that attorney's contact information because you want to set up some sort of referral relationship with them. Okay, cool. Guess what else is also considered a lead? Any single referral that you get is a lead. More than likely, that lead ends up converting to a client or becoming a client, but it still is going to start out as a lead. And so there's, to keep things simple, just imagine a track that everyone follows, and they all start as a lead, and they go down this track. Maybe they stop and just become a contact, a referral source or whatever the case is. Otherwise, they keep going, and then they become an opportunity. They book a sales consultation, or they book a meeting with you, whatever the case is. And then from there, they get to the end of the track and they become a client. All right. That's, and that's a very simple way of looking at it. But the thing to keep in mind is that everyone you come in contact with and get their information is a lead. That's it, plain and simple. And so when you think about that, especially if you had not been considering that for some time, you may be generating more leads than you thought. Now, what you are doing with those leads is then important. And then that's when you get into your marketing, your nurturing, all that kind of stuff, because your marketing, again, and this is kind of what we talked about, your marketing does not end once once you get a lead. Truthfully, that's when the real marketing starts. That's when you start to create those touch points. That, you've got them in your system. Great. You've done some marketing to get them into your system. Now you have to do additional marketing to warm them up, to nurture them, to get them either to a buying decision or to where they become a referral source. So that even if they say not right now, or no, you're not the right attorney for me, it doesn't mean that they're just a completely lost opportunity. They become an opportunity to generate referrals, and you can still be a resource to those people in some way. So hope that was helpful. A little bit shorter than last week's episode, but it was something that I noticed, something that I felt like I needed to address in some way. And yeah, so think about that from that standpoint. Then how many leads are you truly generating? How many people? Think of it this way: how many email addresses or phone numbers do you get every year? And that's basically the number of leads that you're getting. And if you're using a CRM, whether it's like a Clio, a Practice Panther, a MyCase, whatever it is, look, you'll have a created date, and just see, look at the number of leads created in 2021, 2020, 2019, whatever it is, and see what you're able to find. And then from there, you can look and see what kind of conversion rate you're getting from lead to client, or lead to, if you have something in the middle, for example, like we here at Spotlight Branding, in terms of our own internal sales, we have a lead, and then we have an opportunity or a deal, and then we have a client. And so there's a different way of classifying certain things. But if you just go from lead to client, that's fine. But you can see what the conversion rate is, and see how many of your leads end up converting into clients. And it's all kinds of good data to have, because then that can help you gauge how effective your marketing is. So many opportunities there, especially if you're the kind of person who really likes to dig deep on these things, and marketing sort of fascinates you in that way. It's a gold mine of data that you can sort through, and stories that you can uncover just on how your marketing works and everything. And so that's why it's fun. And that's why we do this. And so thank you for listening. Thank you for all the feedback that you get. Thank you for all of the ratings and reviews that you've been sending in along the way. Next week, we're going to talk about another marketing concept, more than likely, unless I think of something different to talk about, I guess. But other than that, that's going to do it for us this week. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us. Please visit lawfirmmarketingminute.com for more information. We'll see you next time.